Hi everyone, Cobweb Rose here, and today is the third installment of our AT food storage options video series. Now, our final option to discuss is the good old bear can. You guys will remember from my 2023 AT thru hike that I used a bear can from Georgia to New Hampshire, and honestly, I really love it. A lot of people don't like it as much, and it was actually the least popular storage option that I saw when I was on trail. But today we're going to talk the pros, the cons, and my personal tips for using a bear can, so let's dive right in. Alrighty, so our final food storage option is here, the bear can. As you guys can tell, I really loved my bear can during my 2023 AT thru hike. She collected a lot of memories. This is probably the least popular storage option that I saw on the entire trail, hands down. We're gonna talk about that in the cons in just a minute. But first, I wanna explain to you guys the pros of having a bear can and why I carried one for so long when I was on trail. The number one reason I carried my bear can for as long as I did is because I never had to hang it when I got into camp. To be completely honest, I was one of those people that slept with their food. My bear can lived in my vestibule every night almost for almost the entire trail. It can double as a camp stool when you get into camp, and also a flat spot to cook your food on as long as you're careful about which direction your flame is shooting. Bear cans are now required for certain sections along the AT and a lot of trails when you go out west. They are a fairly cheap option when you compare them to the Ursacks, which we covered in the last installment of this video series, and these are bear and critter proof. I never had to worry about mice or raccoons chewing a hole through my bear can when I was in camp at night, and there are a lot of testimonials on bear can websites from people who have had bears steal their cans and try to get into it, and they could not. They ripped up the can pretty good, but they were not able to get into it, and the can was still usable afterwards. Even if it gets damaged, you can still continue using it as long as you can open and close the top. And as you guys could tell, I fully customized my bear can when I was on trail, and I'm not the only person that does this. There are lots of hikers who will put stickers all over their bear cans, and it makes a great souvenir when you get home and also helps mark the cans as yours, especially since a lot of these stickers are reflective, although I did also put some reflective tape on my bear can, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, no matter what, your bear can, which this is a pro and a con, is the same volume when you pack it in your backpack, no matter what. No matter how little or how much food is in here, this is the size and the weight that my bear can is going to be every time. So I could put it in the same spot in my pack every day and not have to worry about reworking my pack as my food stash got lighter or heavier. It's also obviously extremely durable. It is designed for bear claws to get into it, and it is very thick plastic, so you are probably not going to be able to destroy this no matter what you do to it. You can see how thick the plastic is. There's also a metal version of the bear can that I'm not going to cover in this video, but my friend Navigator actually carried that version on the trail. From what I could tell, it was just as heavy as mine, but the most popular bear can that I saw on trail was the one I'm showing you guys, which is the Bear Vault. Now, most people, like I said, do not voluntarily carry a bear can on the trail with them. And honestly, the biggest reason is the weight. These cans are so heavy by themselves. Honestly, it just blows all of the other food storage options out of the water when it comes to weight. And because most long distance backpackers are very weight conscious, this is just not the number one choice for them to take on a trail where you really do feel every ounce that you pack because you're hiking such a long way. Now, that being said, also this can, I found when I was on trail, is water resistant, not waterproof. Now, because it's designed to keep a bear out, it'll probably keep most of the rain out as well. But I did notice some moisture inside the can after really rainy or really humid mornings. So if you have food that you're worried about water getting into, I would definitely recommend storing it in Ziploc bags inside the cans if you want to make sure that it definitely stays dry. Now, these cans without a bunch of stickers and tape on them are not reflective. So if you put your can at the base of a tree go sleep really well, wake up groggy, maybe in the dark to start night hiking out of camp, and you don't remember where you put your can, you're probably not going to be able to find it really easily without putting some reflective tape on your can. Or a lot of people will purchase something like a trackable tile to put on the inside of their bear can, and that's actually something that Bear Vault recommends that you do. And another reason for that is if a bear does get a hold of your can in the middle of the night, they are not gonna be able to get into it, but they will be able to kick it around, and they might kick it down the side of a cliff, or they might kick it down into a field or in some direction that you didn't think they would take it. And you won't be able to find it unless you've got that trackable tile on the inside of it, or reflective tape and a lot of time to look for your can. Now, these can also be very difficult to open on cold days. The way that you get in and out of a bear can is there's a little knob on the side that you guys probably can't see from here. And you press in on the soft spot and beside the knob, and you push it past this other knob on your bear can, and that's how it locks it in place. So if it's a cold morning, which if you are starting your hike anytime before like April, you're probably going to hit some pretty cold mornings at the beginning, and if you're starting later in the year, you're probably going to hit some pretty cold mornings at the end. For whatever reason, it's a lot more difficult to open this can. Some people have such difficulty with opening the can even when it's not cold out that they carry a credit card or some other kind of like gift card or something stiff and firm that they tape to the top of their can, so that they can use that to push this in and actually get the can open. Also, kind of difficult to load these bear cans. Like I said, it's a fixed volume. You don't have any kind of expansion space like you do with a bear bag or an Ursack to be able to fit large volume or oddly shaped items inside of it. So you really are limited as to what you can pack, and especially how much food you can pack. I could not get away with packing more than a 5-day resupply in this baby. Now that could just be the food that I chose, because some people can fit 6 or 7-day resupplies in here. More power to them. I was not one of those people. Also, you can't fit large volume foods in here. So anytime I packed out a pound bag of Cheetos from town, I could not fit those in here. I had to go mooch off of MC's bear hang to hang my Cheetos, because they just simply don't fit in your bear can, because it's a fixed volume. You can't make more space where there's no space to be had. Like I said, I'm just talking about the Bear Vault brand bear cans in this episode, because that's what I used for most of the trail. There are other options for bear cans out there. Do a quick Google search, you'll be able to find any of them. But for the purposes of this video, this is a actual Bear Vault brand bear can. Now, I use the BV475, which is what I recommend as far as sizing goes for the AT. It is 2.25 pounds by itself, and everyone joked that I added an extra pound with the stickers. I think I added like 0.2 pounds with the stickers, if we're being honest. But it costs $90, so more than a bear bag, but less than an Ursack. It is made out of polycarbonate, so it is very durable, and this is what's recommended for a 5 to 6 day carry, which is probably more what you're going to be doing when you're on the AT. Now, other people that I know of who carried bear cans with them carried BV450s, which is the size below this one. That's what's recommended for a 3 to 4 day storage. It's also made of the polycarbonate. That one will run you $84, and it's only 2.1 pounds. They also make a BV250, which is what MC used for a little ways on the trail. That fits maybe 1 to 2 days worth of food. Don't recommend that size for the AT. And then a BV500, which is the size larger than the one I got. And I only knew one couple that carried a BV500, and they were carrying food for both of them in that. Now, like I said, feel free to look up other versions of the bear can, but the Bear Vault is definitely the most common bear can you're going to see on trail. Now, I wanted to leave you guys with some of my personal tips for bear can use. Jazz up your can, guys. Put stickers on it, have fun, add reflective tape, put that tracking tile on the inside of it, because it helps you identify your bear can as yours, and it helps you find it should a bear try to play soccer with your can in the middle of the night. Real talk, like I said before, I pretty much always slept with my can in my vestibule because I didn't have to worry about rodents getting into it. But make sure you're storing it away from camp if you're in camp with people who are uncomfortable with others sleeping with their food, or if there are known bear sightings in the area. Try to wedge it in a little grove of trees if you can. Don't store it on the side of a cliff where a bear could knock it down and you potentially would have to scale that cliff in the morning to get your can back if a bear found it. And also remember, you have a nice flat space that you can create using your lid if you want to do some cooking on it. Just be mindful of which direction your flame is pointed so that you don't melt your lid. Remember to leave space for your spoon and your smellables, which I'll put my standard reminder right after this. But that's a much bigger deal when you're working with a fixed amount of space with a bear can than it is with a bear bag or an Ursack. Also, don't go more than 2 clicks when you are tightening your lid on the Bear Vault. This is a manufacturer recommendation, by the way. And the reason for it is so you can get it open again the next day. So right when it's about to close, you will push it past, you'll push the little black knob. There's 2 black knobs on here. You'll push it past the little plastic stand-up piece at the top and you'll hear a click. And then you'll pass the second one and hear another click. Do not tighten it after you hear that second click. I will actually turn it back so that the second black knob on the lid is right up against the plastic piece on the bottom. The reason I tell you not to tighten it anymore is because if you keep going after that, you're probably not gonna be able to get your lid off in the morning. And trust me, you don't want that, because I had a couple of struggles where I tightened it too much. Also, if you overpack your bear can and you have, let's just say a piece, like a bag of something at the top, you might tear your bag when you're trying to open and close your bear can because it's right up against the grooves that are on the inside of the lid of the bear can. If you're one of those people that overbuys food or buys large volumes of food, maybe travel with a friend that does a bear hang every night and have maybe one of your electronics bags or spare clothes bags or something that you can put extra food in or extra large volume food in and get it on their bear hang at night if it doesn't fit in your bear can and you're not at a place that has a bear box. Not that I ever used that tip. Definitely did. Thank you, MC. But just something to consider when you are packing a bear vault. And this is just your friendly reminder that no matter what food storage option you choose, please remember to leave space in your bag, your can, or your Ursack to store your smellable non-food items. For example, your toothpaste and your toothbrush, your trash bag, which could be up to a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, depending on how long you're on trail and how much trash you generate. Things like your utensils, which will also retain a certain amount of food scent, and your cook pot if you cook food in it. If you're just boiling water in it and it's not anywhere near food, it's not gonna have a food smell to it, so put it wherever you want. But if you cook in your pot, please remember you have to leave space in your food storage option to store your now food scented pot. All right, so that's everything I can tell you, the pros and the cons about the Bear Vault, bear can, and also my personal pro tips for helping you out if you choose to pack one on the trail. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, leave me comments, questions below, recommendations for other bear cans or personal stories, and thank you as always for watching. Happy trails.